Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. So recently over on our Instagram, we put out a question asking you guys to submit questions for an upcoming Q&A. And today we are sitting down to answer the questions that you sent us over on Instagram. So first of all, thank you for sending in the questions. We got a bunch of really good ones and we are gonna answer as many as we can in today's video.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for sending in all your questions. Matt and I haven't really done a Q&A in a while and we wanted to interact with you guys. So today's the day we're gonna answer all of your questions.
Let's do it.
So the first question is it worth it to Uber rather than wait for the Disney bus transportation?
That's a good question. It's something we've kind of thought about from time to time, and obviously we mostly take the Disney bus transportation when we go, but there has been occasions where we have Ubered. So we've definitely used Uber on Disney property and it's very easy to use, it's super convenient. But I would say, is it worth it to Uber rather than the buses? If you're only gonna take Ubers, my guess is no, because I mean the buses for the most part are pretty good.
Right,
and
if you want to save money, obviously, if you're staying on the Disney resort property, then all the bus transportation is free.
Right.
Whereas Ubers can add up if that's what you're using all day, every day, it can add up. So I would say the bus transportation, we haven't ran into a lot of issues with them. So for the most part, that's what we use.
Yeah, for the most part, it's been good. The one time I'll say is maybe it's worth it is if you're staying at one of the larger properties, so maybe an Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, Coronado Springs, where there's multiple bus stops at the resort.
Yeah.
If you're maybe running late to a dinner reservation or something along those lines, then I would say, it might be worth it to take an Uber so you don't have to spend that whole time going around the property, but most of the time we would take the bus.
Okay, so the second question is, what is your favorite country in Epcot?
It's a really good question.
And that's a hard question because there's a few that I really love. One that pops out in my mind is Mexico.
Okay.
Because we love the Three Caballeros, and it's just a cute, the inside there is cute to walk around. They have the little shop. And
it's very well themed.
Yeah, and it's nice and cool in there on a hot day.
Yeah, that's definitely the place in Epcot that you want to go on a hot day. So Mexico,
that's
definitely
one,
up there.
Yeah.
I would say the first one that came to mind for me and has kind of always been my favorite has been Japan.
Oh yeah, that's my other favorite.
Yeah, I really like the Japan Pavilion. It's got some good restaurants in there.
Yeah.
We really like Teppanydo. It's a really good hibachi style restaurant. We haven't tried the quick service there, but we've heard good things.
Try it, yeah.
We've heard really good things, and it has, in my opinion, outside of Mouse Gear, the best gift shop in Epcot.
I was gonna say, I think their gift shop is probably my favorite out of all of the countries. Yeah. We can spend forever in there just looking at everything.
Because it's such unique items. Most of the gift shops have the typical Disney items. This one you have swords and all these different crazy things that you would never see in a normal Disney gift shop. So that's kind of why I like Japan.
Yeah.
And that's where we got Bunny's ears.
Yeah, his bunny ears. So, but yeah, Japan is definitely one of my favorites too.
Yeah, so Mexico and Japan. Okay, next up is, if you could stay anywhere on Walt Disney World property, where would you pick and why?
Another tough
question. Good question.
We've stayed at so many of the Disney resorts, and there's still some that we haven't stayed at yet that we're looking forward to hopefully staying at in the future.
Yes.
But what comes to mind for me is I really love the Polynesian. That's been one of my favorites that we've stayed at. Also recently when we stayed at the Gran Destino Tower, that was amazing. I really enjoyed staying there as well for, a moderate price that feels like you're staying in a deluxe.
Right, yeah.
What else? Oh, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge, I was going to say, would be my number one choice. I like all the ones that Alex mentioned too, but Animal Kingdom Lodge it's unbelievable. If you've never stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, we highly recommend it. It's got great restaurants between Jambo and Kidani. You get to see the animals basically right outside your room. And just the theming of the lobby and the whole feel of the resort is very warm, and it's one of my favorite themed resorts for sure. Yeah. I would say if I had to pick another one, as much as I love the Polynesian, I'm a big fan of the Beach Club. So I love the Beach Club. It's got the best pool on Disney property, in my opinion, in Stormalong Bay. And the ease of access to Epcot is awesome too.
Yeah.
So you can just literally walk out of your resort and walk over to Epcot.
Yep.
So that's a big win for me. So either Beach Club or Animal Kingdom Lodge, but if I had to pick one between those two, I would say Animal Kingdom. Did you ever think of getting married in Disney since you have so much history there? That's a question we get quite a lot.
All the time.
Most people that know us, or some people that even don't know us personally, like obviously many of you guys, a lot of people assume that we were going to get married in Disney.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not the case. We're going to get married back home up here in New Jersey, and that's just going to be where we get married.
Yeah, I mean, Disney would have been awesome to get married at, but we both have such big families that all live up here, so it would have been a lot to have everybody fly down there. Plus, getting married at Disney could cost you a pretty penny.
Yes, that is true.
So, it is a little bit expensive, but we have friends that got married there, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, for us, we're gonna keep it up north.
Yeah, so we'll be up here in New Jersey and just spending the rest of our time down in Florida.
All right, so our next question asks, where do you two plan to honeymoon? Now, we've gotten this question a lot, and we just recently, maybe within the past month or two, made it official.
Yeah.
But
this is a question and also a trip announcement. So we're super excited to share where we're going on our honeymoon. It's a bucket list destination for us. So, want to tell them where we're going?
We're going to Hawaii, and we are splitting our time between Oahu and Maui. So the time that we are in Oahu, we are staying at Aulani, Disney's resort, and we're super excited.
We cannot wait. We are going to be going in early August, so we have a little bit of time. Slightly after the wedding is when we're going to be going, but we are going to Aulani. Cannot wait. I mean, it's going to be awesome because obviously if you saw like our bucket list video that we did a long time ago, our top two destinations really were Aulani and Tokyo Disney. So we're crossing off a bucket list item, and we're also spending a week on Maui, which is absolutely beautiful. So I mean, we can't wait to share all this with you. Like the Hawaii vlogs are going to be amazing. So very, very much looking forward to that. So that's going to be cool.
And we're in the process right now of like planning everything, booking our dining reservations. So we're getting super excited, and we're so excited to film it for all of you guys and for us to look back on in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Like there's so much that I'm looking forward to over at Aulani, and this is going to be our first time there. So obviously we haven't vlogged it, and we never went prior to starting this channel. So this is our first time going to Aulani, and it's our first time going to Hawaii. So if you guys have been to either Aulani or just Hawaii in general, either Oahu or Maui, and you have some tips for us, either, leave us a comment down below, shoot us a message on Instagram.
Yeah, please. If you guys have recommendations of anything, dining, things to do, hikes, anything like that, please write us a message or leave a comment down below. We would love to hear from you guys. Yeah,
but we're so excited. And now we just kind of have to sit back and wait for 3 months until we go. But it'll all be so worth it. It's just going to be an incredible trip. And I'm so happy we get to do it, that things are kind of getting a little bit better and we're able to, travel and do things like this. So it's gonna be a great time. So definitely, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button because we're gonna have a ton of Hawaii vlogs that come out in the probably end of August, early September timeframe. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Can't wait. All right, next up, do you think they're going to retheme Ohana to Moana / Maui and get rid of Lilo and Stitch? Good question.
I
and
know.
It's honestly something that I haven't thought of until we got this question coming. Because obviously they're retheming the rooms at the Polynesian. They're all getting that Moana overlay. And there's been rumors of the Lilo and Stitch elements kind of being phased out. And with them being the main characters at Ohana for breakfast, it's a really good question. My guess is at some point I would expect that. I don't know if it's going to be right away, like when the Polynesian fully reopens this summer, but I would expect at some point, I mean, it kind of does make sense to have Moana and Maui there. And it would be cool to see Maui meeting in a restaurant. He's a very big character, so he's kind of along the size of a Wreck-It Ralph or one of those. So I don't know if he, for mobility reasons, he might not be able to get around the restaurant all that well, but I could certainly see Moana meeting there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's kind of sad, because I know so many people love Lilo and Stitch, so it will like be sad to see them go if that is the path that they're going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like because of how they are like making Moana themed rooms and all of that, it kind of just makes sense. But I don't know if they would do it right away.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I have a crazy idea. Why don't we just keep Moana, Lilo, and Stitch?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're all within the same, culture, so why don't we just keep them all?
Yeah.
Right? I think everybody would be happy with that. It would be cool to have Moana more accessible than she is, because I know you could easily meet her over at Alani, but you could really only meet her at parties here in the States, so it would be cool to have them there.
Yeah. Ever thought about moving to Central Florida? And all we're gonna say to that is stay tuned.
All right, this next question is taking us back in time a little bit. It says, if you could bring back one attraction, what would it be? Another good one. And I know my answer.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't know mine.
It's not there's a version of this attraction that exists today, but I want the original. I want the original Figment.
I knew you were
going to
say that.
Because I've never had the chance to
Dream
experience
Finder.
it. I want to see the Dream Finder. So that would be my one attraction. I think if I could bring back, it would be probably that one.
I mean, Dreamfinder and the original Figment would be really cool. And I think I actually went on the original one when I was like very little.
You have a picture with the Dream Finder.
I do.
And Figment. If we can find it, we'll insert it here. I don't know if we can find it, but I remember seeing it in the past.
Yeah, because they used to meet in Epcot, and I'm pretty sure I have that picture somewhere. I'll try and find it for you guys. But if I had to pick, I think I might pick like Mr. Toad, just because I remember going on that when I was very young too. So just like the nostalgic memories of going on it, it would be cool to have it back. And when we go on it in Disneyland, it brings back all those memories, so it's really fun.
Yeah, another one, an honorary mention, since I am wearing a Universal shirt, would be Back to the Future. I loved the Back to the Future attraction over at Universal Studios. I love that. I wish they could bring that back. The Simpsons is there in its place. And we don't really do The Simpsons all that often, so I definitely miss the old school Universal style of attractions. And Back to the Future would be my honorary mention if we're talking Universal attractions.
Yeah.
So Disney, Figment, Universal, Back to the Future.
What is one unpopular opinion each? You wanna go first?
No, I'll let you go first. Because
Okay.
mine's a real shocker, so I'm going to save mine for the end.
But we have said these in the past.
I feel like I've mentioned this before, though.
Yeah. Okay. So mine, I wasn't sad to see Illuminations go. I'll just say that, and I know people are gonna yell at me, but
That kills me. That kills me.
I know Matt used to get so mad at me for saying this, but like I never was like one to like rush to Epcot to see Illuminations. Like it was my least favorite like nighttime show. Like I love Fantasmic, I love Happily Ever After and Wishes, and I just never was like I used to always say Illuminations is skippable, and Matt used to get so mad at me.
I used to get so mad because I was a big Illuminations fan, and yes, like there was that lull in the middle of the show where it was just like the globe doing its thing out on the lagoon. But I thought from just a pure fireworks perspective, I thought it was the best show on property.
Yeah.
Just from the fireworks, like impressive fireworks.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah.
And I'll have to agree, but like, I don't know. I just always was like, it's all right.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Yeah. And something for me that I think is just all right is Peter Pan's Flight. I think it is highly overrated.
No.
Now, I'm going to probably get a lot of heat for this. I know people love it, but Peter Pan's Flight is not worth any more than a 30-minute wait tops to me. That's just my opinion. It's very short. It definitely needs some love. It needs a refurb.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. It does need a refurb, and it is a short ride, but I just disagree because Peter Pan is like my favorite Disney movie, so I love it. And the other thing is like if you could get Fast Pass, definitely do it. But
you missed the best part.
But the thing that stinks about it is that you don't go in the queue, and
Yeah.
the queue is like now that they redid it is so cute.
Yeah,
so.
that's in my opinion. I'd rather walk through the queue than go on the actual ride. I think that the queue is one of the coolest queues on Disney property, but the ride itself, it always has a crazy long wait.
Because everybody loves Peter Pan.
I get it,
so.
but I wouldn't wait.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't know. Take it or leave it. When did you know Matt or Alex was the one? So when did we know that we were the ones for each other?
So it's funny that someone asked this, and I don't know who asked this, but we literally just answered this question at my bridal shower the other weekend. We played a little game at the end, and this was one of the questions.
Yeah.
So we both said like the spring of the college program, because that's when we started to like first like
like each other,
and everything like that. So it was towards the end of our college program that we started liking each other, and then when we actually got home is when we started to officially date.
Yeah.
But that's
the same time period for me. Like when you dropped me off at the airport, I knew.
Aww.
Now, here we are, all these years later.
All these years later, getting married.
A couple more questions. Favorite Disneyland ride?
Ooh.
That's a really good question.
Now, is this Disneyland or California Adventure, or just like anything?
I'll say anything.
Okay.
Like
any of the
any
theme
West
park.
Coast Disney ride.
Okay.
We'll say. For me, it's a tough question because I love their Haunted Mansion. I love Pirates.
Yeah.
I like Pirates better in Disneyland than I do at Walt Disney World.
Me too.
But for a ride that is
Unique.
unique to each, it's a tough one. I really love Radiator Springs Racers in California Adventure. For California Adventure wise, I would say that's my favorite ride there. Mission Breakout's up there too. I really like the theming of that. But Radiator Springs Racers is so much fun. I know it's basically Test Track, but it's 100 million times better themed than Test Track.
The animatronics are just like so cool on that ride.
Yeah.
Like the first time we went on it, we were like, that was so much fun.
Yeah, big fan of that.
Also in California Adventure, I love California Screamin', which is now Incredicoaster.
Right, yeah.
Like Matt and most of you guys know, I'm not like a huge roller coaster person.
Right.
Like I don't like Hulk and like big drops, and I won't go on
Rip Ride and Rocket.
Yeah, I won't go on stuff like that. So for me to like the Incredicoaster, which is a big roller coaster, I don't know, I really love that one. That's like my favorite. So
Good question.
Yeah.
So we have like two more questions, right? So the next one here was sent to us via a message on Instagram, and it says, so here's my question. Disney is running a contest called Be an Imagineer for one day. If your name gets chosen, you can design your own ride for any park. What ride would you each build? Now, this is a tough question.
Yeah.
And I tried to think long and hard about this and try to come up with something really cool, but something that I know it has representation in the parks, but in my opinion, it's not enough, is the Lion King. So I would love to have like either something as simple as maybe like a dark ride themed to the Lion King, or a dark ride kind of blended with screens, so like not as intense as like Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, but where you move from like maybe a typical dark ride scene, and now you end up in front of a scene and it's like the Stampede scene, and they incorporate like some modern technology into a dark ride for the Lion King. I think that would be pretty cool because I love Festival of the Lion King, but there's not much Lion King in Disney, and that's like one of the best Disney movies.
Yeah, that's like one of our favorites. So that would be cool. What about like some ride themed towards like all the villains? And I know people have thought of that idea if they were gonna make like a Fifth Gate, like a whole like villains like theme park.
Yep.
But I don't know, I just can't really see them doing that. But if they did some type of ride themed towards all the villains, that would be pretty cool. I don't know like if it would be like a coaster or just like a dark ride or something, but I feel like a lot of people would like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people love the villains.
Yeah.
So
You
that'd be cool.
You could almost think of it as kind of like if they made like Sorcerer's the Magic Kingdom into a ride, because in that card game you're taking down all the different Disney villains, so maybe there's some sort of a ride where you either have to take them down or escape from them.
That's cool.
So you can create like a slightly thrilling experience.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm playing Imagineer on the fly here.
Yeah, and Matt's way more creative than me, so like that, I didn't even think of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. But let us know down in the comments, like if you had the chance to design a ride, because that's a really good question. What would you design and what would it be? To let us know. So thank you guys so much for submitting your questions to us. It was so much fun getting the chance to answer them. We're definitely going to do this again somewhat in the near future because you guys sent in some really good questions. So again, thank you for that. And like we said before, stay tuned for some more updates that may or may not be coming. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that red subscribe button down below, especially so in the coming months you don't miss out on our Aulani adventures that are going to be coming within the next 3 to 4 months here on the channel. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.